At Citi Field in New York, the New York Mets play the New York Yankees. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, dedicated to advanced cancer research, treatment, and care. More science, less fear. By Citi, learn about Citi perks at Mets.com/Citi. By Cash for Life from the New York Lottery, you could win $1,000 a day for life. And by Lexus, experience amazing. In the 21st year of interleague play, the Subway Series has been a showcase for young talent on both sides. Dominic Smith and Gary Sanchez and Ahmed Rosario and Aaron Judge. The young guys have showed their wares during the first two games of the Subway Series, and tonight the scene shifts to Flushing. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Ron Darling, Keith Hernandez with you tonight as the Mets continue the Subway Series against the Yankees. Seth Lugo goes on the disabled list. Robert Gsellman makes the start, and he put a little extra pressure on himself last night. Sandy Alderson was quoted during Gsellman's rehab saying he has to pitch better. Gsellman last night said, "I don't really care." Sandy shot back today and said he's going to have to think about the consequences of what he said. And so first outing in the Subway Series, Gsellman goes out with maybe a little more pressure on his shoulders.
Listen, you cannot get too happy with yourself and say a comment like that. The team has been a huge disappointment. Robert Gsellman has been a huge disappointment. His ERA is over 6, so he should not have a comment like that. He should just be worried about doing his job. Think about it this way. Is there any other job than being a baseball player where you could make those comments and you wouldn't be packing up your cubicle? Well, he's not. Hopefully he has a big game tonight.
Well, there's more intrigue for the Mets as well. Wilmer Flores and Jose Reyes, both late scratches with sore left rib cages. So out of infielders, Terry Collins has Travis d'Arnaud playing third base for the first time in his life. So what kind of challenge does that present?
Well, we've seen everything now in this season for the Mets as far as injuries are concerned. And poor Travis here, I give him credit. You see him doing some work here with the ground balls prior to the game. He's never played. I tell you what, he's a trooper. He'll go out there and give it a shot. Keep in mind that Gsellman is a ground ball pitcher, so we'll see what happens, how many chances he gets in this game.
Jared Grody did it, Gary Carter did it, heck, even Anthony Record did it. Now it's d'Arnaud's turn to see whether he can move from catcher to third base. Meanwhile, Jaime Garcia makes the start for the Yankees. He has struggled since coming over from the Twins.
Well, yesterday we showed a lot of the moves that the Yankees made. Garcia was a big one. Early in his career, he was outstanding against the Mets, 2-0. After that, he has not won, 0-5. Garcia is one of those guys, though, that on any given night, he could have a big night.
Pitching for his third team this season. The Mets saw him twice earlier this year as an Atlanta Brave. It's the Mets and the Yankees from Citi Field. All the action coming your way tonight on SNY. Free Shirt Friday, the Mets take on the Marlins at 7:10. All fans in attendance will receive a Michael Conforto t-shirt courtesy of Taiwan Tourism Bureau. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Free Shirt Fridays. Driver on the Majors presented by Audi. Lots of day games today. Ricky Nolasco, 5 2/3 good innings as the Angels continue to roll. They beat the Nationals 3-2. Angels have that second American League wildcard spot. First time in 7 games Giancarlo Stanton didn't homer, but he did have 2 hits. And the Marlins beat the Giants 8-1. Manny Pena, 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th. And the Brewers overcame the Pirates 7-6. The resurgent Brewers with their 4th straight. And Neil Walker hit his first home run as a Brewer today as well. Robert Gsellman, first start since June the 27th. How will he fare? Come on back. His first pitch is coming up.
Train, train, ride me my way. Train, train, take me back to the place where love was mine. Don't be late, I know this time. Train, train, he'll smile last track. Train, train, don't pass that station. Train, train, this is my stop.
That's the best the subways have run in months.
I love that shot. Look at that. Come on down.
Look at that. No delays. No debris on the tracks. It's all working.
It looks wonderful. What a beautiful day.
Well, there's a new position for Travis d'Arnaud. As we mentioned, a lot of Met catchers have played the hot corner. John Stearns did it. Mackie Sasser did it for 2 games.
Oh.
Monday, Yankees starting lineup. Night off for Brett Gardner, so Jacoby Ellsbury moved to the leadoff spot. Garrett Cooper gets his first start of the series, acquired from Milwaukee, his 13th start for the Yankees. Right-hand batting first baseman. Is that music going to stay with us all night? Because it sounds really good.
Nice. Land Rover numbers for Robert. He had a stretch, 3 starts where he won all 3, but the next 3 after that, before he hurt his hamstring, were a real struggle.
Ellsbury leads off. He homered last night against Jacob deGrom. Gsellman's first pitch in for a strike, and we're underway. Ellsbury got 145 at bats without a home run until he hit one Saturday against the Red Sox. Then he hit 2 in a 4 at bat span. Go figure. And the sinker from Gesellman. Ellsbury went around, and it's 0-2.
Okay, Travis in at the corner. Now there's 2 strikes. Travis, you can pull back. That a baby. There you go. We're pulling for you.
He's got this thing covered. 0-2 from Gesellman, and he misses with a slider. 1-2.
There's got to be someone on the bench that is directing him on every pitch. I bet
that would be Dick Scott's job. He coaches the infielders. They were hitting him some ground balls before the game, trying to get him sharp after the Mets had 2 late scratches. We knew a little bit earlier about Flores, didn't know until after batting practice about Reyes, and Cabrera wasn't supposed to play tonight because he's banged up, but he got shoehorned into the lineup because Terry had no other choice. 2-2 coming, and it just missed. Full count to Ellsbury with Aaron Hicks and Aaron Judge to follow for the Yankees in the first.
Boy, pretty good pitch.
Close, but no cigar.
3-2 coming, and it's whacked into right center field. A base hit for Ellsbury to start the night.
Sinker that didn't sink, just runs away, stays on the same plane, and Ellsbury just beautiful level swing on that ball.
Well, if you go back to Gesellman's troubles this year, a lot of it has had to do with his difficulties in the first inning. 14 starts this year, 20 first inning runs against him, and 11.57 first inning ERA. And now he's given up a leadoff hit to Ellsbury, who can still steal a base. He's got 15 this year. Aaron Hicks, the batter, he's had a terrific series so far, 3 for 8, including a home run on Monday. Pretty number.
Oh, I see. Minimum 10 starts. Whoa.
And a half swing, and he held it in time. 1-0. Adam Hamari with the call down at third. Well, I'm already noticing there's one good thing about a catcher playing third base. He knows how to get low before the pitch.
You're right about that.
Travis is getting a very good crouch down there.
Probably the most nervous he's been on a baseball field in some time.
And let's not forget when Piazza, which really, remember when he went from catcher and over to first base, which is really another, just the opposite side, the same corner position. Mike had a terrible time with the ball off the bat.
Reading the ball off the bat. He didn't react well. Well, Travis has a couple of things going for him. One is he's wearing David Wright's glove.
Okay.
So that's going to help. And he got some pointers from David before the game tonight. Hicks gets one in the air to deep right field, but it's playable for Conforto. And he puts it away for the first out. Home run at Yankee Stadium, F9 at Citi Field. One away.
And your lovable Lexus Metzi defense. Lagares out in center field. Boy, did he make a play last night in the Yankee Stadium, going back to the wall on the infield. As Gary mentioned, you got Cabrera at second and Darno at third.
We hear the reaction for Aaron Judge from the Yankee fans in assemblage at Citi Field.
That was huge.
Judge 2 for 6 in this series with a double and a home run. Leads the American League with 36 home runs. There goes Ellsbury. The throw by Rivera hits the runner. And Ellsbury will stay put as it's backed up by Rosario. 16th stolen base of the year for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Pretty good jump. Ball just tailed into the runner. And he was going to have to take a perfect throw to get him.
Got him right on the hip. So Ellsbury in scoring position with 1 out. 1-0 to Judge.
Boy, Lagares playing real shallow off a prolific home run hitter.
Ground ball snagged by Gesellman. He had to run a trap, but chose not to make the play. Wow. He would have had a play on Ellsbury, but he turned it down to get the out at first, and Ellsbury goes to third.
Well, he just panicked. What happened when it came back to him, when you got the guy off the bag that much, after you catch it, you run right at him.
Right.
And once you run right at him, you get him to stop and then give the ball to the athletes.
That's pretty much, it's just rote right there. That's what you work on in spring, and those got to be reactionary. You know, you make the play, you turn. It's all baseball instinct.
So 2 out Ellsbury at third. Here's Didi Gregorius sitting cleanup. 2 for 7 in the series. And he takes the breaking ball inside for ball 1. Gregorius now 6th in the American League with that .308 batting average. 18 home runs. He had 20 last year. He's just having a superb offensive season to go with his always fine defense. And the breaking ball popped up. Shallow center. Lagares comes in to take charge. Side retired. Gesellman sidesteps trouble in the top of the first. Mets come to bat against Jaime Garcia when we come back. Mets. A big shuffle in the Mets lineup after the scratch of Flores and Reyes. Cabrera and Rivera were added. Lagares was moved up to the leadoff spot. Conforto was dropped to cleanup. And of course Travis d'Arnaud playing third base as Jaime Garcia faces the Mets for the third time this year.
His Toyota numbers not great for Jaime. 67 and 53 in his career.
Lagares has started all 3 games in this series. He's 2 for 7 so far.
Made a sparkling play in the outfield last night.
Garcia runs one inside. It's 2-0. Garcia began the year as a Brave. Made 1 start for the Twins after he was traded there, and then moved on. 3-0 to Lagares. I don't know what was most memorable. The brief tenure of Garcia as a Twin, Mike Piazza as a Marlin, or Ronnie as an Expo.
That's right. That's right.
Brief interludes. Mike spent 6 days as a Marlin. Garcia made 1 start as a Twin. By that standard, you should be in the Expos Hall of Fame. You were there so long.
I was. Oh man.
That's Dribble Cabrera on deck. Then you went to Cespedes for the Mets in the first. 3-2, and Lagares yanks 1 foul. Well, in fact, Garcia broke the record for the shortest period of time to make 3 starts for 3 different teams. He did it in a 15-day span. He broke the record that had been held by Ed Daly in 1890 and by Ronnie. 23 days from the Mets to the Expos to the A's.
Well, I tell you, I got some roots and some big records, don't I? You know, I will say though, I found out later that it was supposed to be a 3-team trade: Mets, Oakland, and the Expos. And then the A's and the Expos couldn't agree, so that's why I was in purgatory in Montreal for 3 starts. Shouldn't say purgatory. Love Montreal, one of my favorite cities on the road.
And they loved you there because you spoke French.
Oh, they loved it.
They should have kept you. I
could give the interview afterwards, tell them how bad I was during the game.
9th pitch of the at-bat coming to Lagares. And he bounces one there down the line. That'll go all the way into the corner. Hicks over to play it. Lagares takes a turn. He'll hold it second with a leadoff double. 9-pitch at bat. Lagares has his 6th double of the year.
Well, tried to come inside once too many and down in the strike zone. Good at bat by Juan. Boy, if you could just get some offense from Juan. I know he's been injured, but the way he patrols center field and he gives the club some speed.
It was interesting on that replay. Headley was moving to his left when the ball was hit. But Jaime Garcia, who throws so many cutters, wouldn't you want your third baseman on the line a little bit?
Well, if you'll remember when Johan Santana pitched for the Mets, he always wanted his third baseman to play the line. You remember when Oliver Perez found out, he said, I want them to play on the line too.
Didn't have the same kind of control as Johan.
Here's Cabrera, 1 for 7 in this series. And he takes a fastball for a strike.
Sometimes these makeshift lineups have big days just because everyone's thrown in there at the last minute, not thinking too much. Let the talent flow.
Jaime Garcia, born in Mexico, high school in Mission, Texas. Longtime St. Louis Cardinal, injury-plagued career. The last time he faced the Mets, it was on June the 11th in Atlanta, and he matched up that night against Seth Lugo, who outpitched him, and the Mets and Lugo won 2-1. It was supposed to be Garcia against Lugo again tonight, but Lugo came up with a shoulder impingement, which is what forced him to the DL and brought Gesellman back from his rehab. And that one skips in. I don't know how Sanchez knocked it down, but he did. It's 2-1.
Another cutter.
Just caught it off the end of the catcher's glove. That's how he kept it in front of him.
So an erratic beginning for Garcia. Cabrera has just been tearing it up as a right-hand batter. He's hitting .344 this year now from the right side of the plate. More than 100 points higher than he's hitting from the left side. And that one a little bit high, and it's 3-1. And Whitson calling the balls and strike.
On the first night of the series, Todd Tichenor had a very small strike zone. Adam Hamari last night, I thought, had a very good and big strike zone. And Chad Whitson so far, a very small strike zone, better for the hitters.
Crew Chief Bill Miller, he'll have the plate in the final game of the series tomorrow night.
He's not calling a high strike, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So Garcia behind again, and Cabrera fouls it off. So back-to-back full counts to start Garcia's night. His last start was against Boston on Friday night. Gave up 3 runs over 5 2/3. A no decision game for him. That's a game the Yankees came back and won late. The only game they won in that series. Yankees will play the Red Sox again this coming weekend at Fenway. They begin the night 4.5 games behind Boston in the American League East. 3-2 to Cabrera, and he hits one to the right side. That'll advance the runner. Torres gets the out. Productive out for Cabrera. Gets Lagares to third with one away.
Your Yankee Coors Light defense. Ellsbury's second start in a row in center field. On the infield, Headley moves over to third, and Ralph would have a hard time. Ralph Kiner, our colleague, would have a hard time with Garrett Cooper.
There's Cabrera's feet in the batter's box. Scrapes that toe back.
Interesting.
And then the stride.
Usually you wind up on your back foot when you're going the other way, because you're waiting to the last moment to hit the ball the opposite field. It's more of a recoil on your back foot.
Here's Cespedes, infield back for the Yankees, and Cespedes pounds one foul. Cespedes 3 for 6 in this series. Last 5 games, he's 8 for 20 with 3 home runs. So things starting to look up a little bit for you, Ennis.
Volunteered his services to Terry Collins, didn't he? To try to play third base tonight. He said, I can do it.
He takes ground balls in the infield just about every day. So does Jacob deGrom, by the way. I bet you Jake was lobbying. In the air to left center, tagging at third, Lagares. Hicks comes over to make the call. He's got a great arm, but it's a little bit too deep. And Lagares able to score the first run of the game. That's a cannon from Hicks, but just a little too deep to throw out the speedy Lagares. Cespedes with the sacrifice fly, and the Mets are up 1-0.
That is a tremendous arm right there. I mean, hits the cutoff man.
Hicks makes the catch.
Momentum coming forward. And that hits the cutoff man in a perfect one-hop throw. That's impressive.
Well, you saw the one he threw against Boston in that Friday night game. He threw at Eduardo Nunez at third base.
You got to put that in the memory bank right there.
So here's Conforto. Michael hitting cleanup tonight. He was supposed to hit second in the original batting order, with Flores hitting cleanup, but Flores was scratched. Sore rib cage. So Conforto hitting fourth. And takes inside ball one. Both Conforto and Dominic Smith in the lineup tonight against the left-hander. Mets are going to face a couple of lefties this weekend against the Marlins. Terry said that Conforto will probably sit one of those games because he's been playing every day.
Been struggling a little bit against the left-handers. Conforto originally in the lineup tonight in the number 2 position, but got moved to the cleanup with the injury to Flores.
Well, he's really, I mean, it's his only bad second half mark, really, right? Is his numbers against left-handed pitching.
For his last 12, hitting 171 against lefties since the All-Star break, 271 before the break.
I'm just curious to see if Terry Collins, will have to ask him tomorrow, if he's moving. Conforto's moved to the 3 and 4 hole.
Yeah.
As they shift over the infield now with 2 strikes, we see that a lot. Headley going over to the right side. Is he going to keep him in the 3 and 4 hole, or is he going to get him in the 1 and 2 holes again?
And Garcia uses the breaking ball to strike out Conforto for the 3rd out. But the Mets cash a run. Lagares a leadoff double, 2 productive outs. Garcia finishes the inning with a strikeout, but the Mets finish the inning with a 1-0 lead. mentioned that Cespedes often takes ground balls on the infield before the game. Notice that was Darno taking the throws at second. Looks like a natural. No glove
no
required.
Glove.
Oh, but he airmailed Ricky Bonas.
Might have hit our pregame crew with that throw.
That's right.
Right, they were down
in that
there.
spot down the first base line. Second inning, 1-0 Mets. Gary Sanchez leads off. Sanchez has homered in each of the first 2 games of the series, including a monstrous home run in the 6th inning last night against Jacob deGrom. He also had the sacrifice fly that provided the eventual margin of victory in the 8th inning. So it's been a really good series for Sanchez, who's 4 for 6 in the 2 games. And he takes a fastball strike from Gesellman. 7-game hitting streak for Sanchez is his longest of the year. 21 home runs, 1 more than he hit during his phenomenal stretch as a rookie last year. He only played 53 games last year, hit 20 home runs. This is the home run last night.
Well, changeup. Got it down too much over the middle. deGrom, well, he really struggled last night and fought through it.
Got into the 8th inning. Sanchez lofts this one to left center. Over comes Cespedes to get it. 1 out.
Got that off the end.
There you go. That's just a matter of inches. If he'd hung it, folks, 4 inches towards the inside corner, that's a long ball.
Well, you've got a Yankee lineup that's at 171 home runs this year, 4th in the American League. There's Chase Headley. And for Gesellman, this is a guy last year who came up and in his 44 big league innings gave up 1 home run. This year, 76 innings, 13 home runs. Now, I know home runs have proliferated around the game, but that's a huge expansion of the gopher ball for Gesellman this year. And is that just a matter of his sinker not working the way it did last year?
Yes. No question. It's not sinking enough. You can tell right now it's got a little sink, maybe like on the dial from 10 to 4 o'clock, where last year I think it was 11 to 5.
Yeah.
And there's ball 4, and Headley's on with a 1-out walk. So if you've lost your sinker and you're a sinker ball pitcher, how do you get it back?
Well, that's an interesting question. I think you have to manipulate and fool around with the ball and try to get a better grip to make it sink. I think the other thing is that it's a state of mind. Sometimes when you're out there, you're throwing too hard. If you throw too hard, the ball won't sink. It'll run, as opposed to the good late life. So overthrowing will straighten out the ball also. I had that issue early in my career all the time.
There's Garrett Cooper, the first baseman the Yankees got from the Brewers in exchange for a pitcher, Tyler Webb, left-hander. 13th start for Cooper, and so far so good. He's hitting .359.
Yep, he hasn't hit a home run. He's only got 39 at bats and played in 12 games.
It's 17 home runs in 77 games in the minors this year and hit .357. So he's got that kind of power. Headley at first and 1 out. And he ties up Cooper. Did he swing? He did.
Yeah.
Now that is a good sinker.
Yes.
If you notice that one, it sunk and it moved late. See it straight and watch it turn late in on his hand. That's good.
Yes.
Going to Cooper with Ronald Torreyes on deck. And Cooper got a piece of that sinker.
He's just staying inside.
Ronnie, what about the idea that with the change in the way so many hitters are approaching their at bats, looking for low pitches that they can lift, does that have an effect on a sinker ball pitch?
It can, but you just have to be smarter than the hitter. If the hitter likes the ball low, you just throw it a little lower. and make sure that they hit the ball and pound it into the ground. Now that's a true sinker ball pitcher. I have not seen Gesellman enough to know if he has a true sinker. Last year was much better than this year. But a true sinker is a guy who comes out and over the course of the game, 65% of the balls that are put in play are on the ground.
Kevin Brown, Brandon Webb.
There you go. Yeah, that's a true sinker ball pitcher.
1-2 coming. And that gets behind Rivera. And down to second goes Headley.
You know, the 2-out walk by DeGrom to Headley really hurt him with the 2-run home run to Ellsbury.
Oh, he just came up too quick. It's going to be a wild pitch.
We've seen a few of those this year for Rene going through the 5-hole.
You know, when they get late in counts now, they're moving d'Arnaud to second base, and the pull side they're having Cabrera come over and play third. So they're trying to hide him. That's what they're trying to do.
Two coming. And it's fouled off. Well, last year, one of the keys to the Mets getting to the postseason was the performance of these two unknowns coming up to fill holes in the Mets rotation, and both Lugo and Gesellman were spectacular. Hasn't gone quite that way for either one of them this year. Lugo had the partially torn ulnar collateral ligament. Now he's got an impingement in his shoulder. Gesellman has just been a struggle for him. Seventh pitch of the bat coming to Cooper. And that gets away from Rivera.
That's a cross-up, though.
That is definitely a cross-up.
These little things that if you're not buttoned up as a team, just looks horrible.
He's looking for the breaker and the ball going to dirt, and it didn't.
Well, they'll score at a pass ball.
Well, that's. I've had this argument with the official scores. There's nothing you can do. I understand, but.
So you got the tying run at third with 1 out. The Mets going to play their infield back.
They're conceding the run, and I'm a little bit confused where Dominic Smith's playing at first base. I mean, he's kind of halfway.
3-2, and just got a piece of that to stay in.
If you're conceding the run, then Dominic Smith has to push back a little bit, around 10 feet or 15 feet.
You thinking maybe on a ground ball he could come home from where he's playing?
Yeah, I mean, Headley can't run, but if you're conceding the run, that means you want the out. So play in a position that gives you the best chance for an out, right, Keith?
Yes.
Ninth pitch. Cooper grounds one to third. Diving Cabrera. His only play is at first. The run comes home to tie the game. Beautiful play by Cabrera, who is nominally the second baseman, but was playing third base on that play. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
5-3, 4-3.
Yeah,
it's all the same. It's an RBI for Cooper.
I'm going to put 5-3.
And it looks like they're going to keep him there, at least for the time being.
Pretty impressive at bat by Garrett Cooper. I won't say Gary Cooper.
So a walk, a wild pitch, a pass ball, and a ground out, and the Yankees score without a hit to tie the game. Now Ronald Torreyes takes a strike. Torreyes 3 for 6 in the first 2 games.
Again, the pull side, keep Cabrera there. Also, there's the threat of the bunt, even with 2 outs, with Torreyes up.
We got the pitcher Garcia on deck. What a pitcher who in his last big league at bat hit a grand slam.
Well, d'Arnaud has no opportunity to try to turn double play. And I think when there's a double play out there, he's going to be at third base. This is asking too much from him.
Could pull a Joe Madden and the Cubs, just play 4 outfielders, 3 infielders.
I mean, there's no rule about where your 7 guys play as long as they're in fair territory. Other than the pitcher and catcher, other guys can all play wherever they want. Throwing his bat at the ball, Torreyes loops one out to Rosario, and that retires the side. The Yankees get an unearned run and tie it 1-1 in the second. customizable experience with the MLB.com at Bat app. Get New York Mets home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat today. Well, the man of the infield, Travis d'Arnaud, leads off in the home second. Mets have been doing their best to hide him, and so far it's worked. Hasn't had a ball hit to him yet. Played him at third, moved to second when it seemed appropriate. Travis has been struggling with the bat lately, just 1 for his last 22. And he gets the off-speed pitch from Garcia, 1-1. Rosario on deck, then Dominic Smith for the Mets in the second.
Beautiful night for a ball game. Just can't get any better.
Same tomorrow.
Yep.
Ballpark filled with fans of all stripes, pin and otherwise. 2-2 to d'Arnaud. Of course, the other thing d'Arnaud has going for him as an infielder is his brother.
That's right.
Chase is a terrific defensive infielder. That's grounded on the left side. Running around it is Gregorius, and throws on the move to get d'Arnaud one away.
We saw this last night. Gregorius throws so accurately on the run.
And we saw the same from Rosario last night.
That's right. You're right.
He's been very impressive defensively, and last night did something maybe even more impressive, homering against Aroldis Chapman.
You know, and I said it last night. What I found really impressive, the young man had a bad night. Swinging at a lot of pitches, struck out a couple of times, but he was able to separate those at bats from the one he took against Chapman. It's pretty cool.
In his last 5 games, he's 7 for 16 with 2 home runs. He had 1 in Philly, 1 in the Bronx.
Well, here's the home run off Chapman, who was throwing high 90s, a couple of hundred, and he wants to throw his slider all night. And Rosario made him pay.
By the way, Joe Girardi said before the game tonight, Chapman is still his closer. He's not available tonight, and they're sending him for tests because, remember, he appeared to hurt his hamstring on the last play of the game. So if the Yankees need a closer tonight, it would probably be David Robertson. That's smacked to second. 1 hopper, grabbed by Torres. 2 out.
That was interesting. Torres was built low to the ground anyway, but to make that play, see how he gets real low, almost on the level of the ball, so he can see it right into his glove. That's cool.
Nice backhand. Move back to get the longer hop.
So now Dom Smith, who's making his Citi Field debut tonight. Three games in Philly, 2 at Yankee Stadium, and now his first in Flushing. He hit his first big league home run last night against Sonny Gray. He hit it to the opposite field. And the Yankees, as they have this entire series, playing a full shift against Dominic. Rosario and Smith both homering last night. Both 22 or younger. It's only the 3rd pair of Mets ever to homer in the same game, age 22 and younger. As Smith strikes out to end the inning. Second strikeout for Garcia. 1-1 game after 2. 1-1 game. Steven Matz will pitch the final game of the series tomorrow night. And moments ago, Steve Gelb's caught up with Steven outside the Mets clubhouse.
Steve, you get the start tomorrow, 4th game of a 4-game series. How much work do you put in those first 3 games as a pitcher, watching the opposition and trying to game plan based on what you're seeing?
Yeah, you definitely put in the work. You look at scouting reports and you see if that's what they're trying to do. Up at the plate is what the scouting reports we have on them. For me, it's a little different for guys, on our starting pitcher, because I'm the, the only lefty starting pitcher right now. So I game plan a little bit different than them, but you kind of watch their swings and see what they're trying to do up there.
You obviously grew up in the area. We talk about it all the time. What do you remember about the Subway Series, watching it growing up?
I remember it's really exciting. Obviously, especially in the year 2000 when they were in the World Series. That was some crazy times to be a New Yorker and a New York sports fan. So it was really exciting.
Do you ever think about that when you were a kid, about what that would be like to be a part of, and does that ever enter your consciousness when you're out there on the mound?
It never enters my consciousness when I'm out there on my mound. I'm really kind of just focused on the task at hand. But growing up, that was. You'd always envision yourself being out there, being out in that Subway Series, being out for that big pitch, that big out, and that's something that's, kind of awesome to be part of now.
Steve, you made a nice step forward in your last start against the Phillies, but I've been struggling a little bit before that. When you focus on what has been the issue, where do you think the biggest concern lies during this stretch where you've struggled a little bit?
I think the biggest concern for me is making pitches when it counts. When I got a guy on, first and second, getting a ground ball would be huge there instead of giving a base hit. Now you got a guy on third base and 1 run in. So, stuff like that. I feel like pitching with runners on, pitching with runners in scoring position, kind of, do something like DeGrom does and kind of take it to that next level and figuring out how to hone that in and really dial it up and get those guys out when you need to.
Health-wise, you feel good at this point?
Yeah, I feel really good. I've been building a good routine and, working with the trainers and, the conditioning staff a lot to just try to keep this routine and keep what's been working.
Steve, appreciate the time as always. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Steven, and thank you, Steve. Cabrera throws out Jaime Garcia after a 7-pitch at bat for the first down in the 3rd.
He's saying all the right things, which is great. To me, that he's healthy is the biggest plus. I think his arm is big enough to be a big winner in this game. He's saying the right things. Pitching with runners in scoring position, all those things he gets better at, and you'll see the results.
That was the quote of the game, presented by Investors Bank, backing in your best interest. And Terry Collins alluded to it today, and the fact that a guy who's had as many elbow surgeries as Steven has had in his career is never going to feel 100%, and that he's starting to make the adjustment to learning how to pitch when you don't feel great.
Well, this is his window, and I think this is how he's got to look at it, is that this is how I'm going to feel. It's not going to always be perfect, but this is my window to be as great as I can as a New York Mets pitcher, and I believe in Steven. I think he's got great stuff. I think he can be a big winner.
Ellsbury lines one to Conforto for the second out.
And there's the biggest thing I would tweet is that I think the best I've ever seen was Johan Santana, even before he became a Met. But as a Met, he matched arm speed on every single pitch. It looked exactly the same, whether it was a fastball, breaking ball, or, of course, his great changeup. That is every pitcher's dilemma, is to match that arm speed with all of your pitches. And I think at times Steven struggles with that. Once he matches that, he can go anywhere he wants to go.
And I'm sure he's conscious of that.
Of course. So, work in progress.
Aaron Hicks takes a fastball strike, 1-1. Zellman allowed a hit to Ellsbury leading off the game. Hasn't allowed a hit since. Gave up an unearned run in the 2nd. Walk, wild pitch, pass ball, and ground out conspiring. And this is below the knees. 2-1 to Hicks, who flied to right his first time up. Aaron Judge would be next. Zellman's first start since turning 24 years of age. Had a birthday while on the DL. Never fun. Good changeup, and it's 2-2 to Hicks.
Well, this is what's going on in the game today. If you can do this and put it in this location behind the count, secondary pitch, you're going to have success. But can you do it with consistency? And can you do it late and close with men on base?
Tap to short, charging Rosario, throwing on the move to get the speedy Hicks, and that retires the side. So Gesellman using his changeup to get the Yankees out 1-2-3. Still a 1-1 game. Well, that's the city that these two teams represent. It's kind of a nice city. I mean, look at that.
Ed Cox Bridge, how am I doing?
Roosevelt Island. New Jersey off in the background. Spectacular. Beautiful night for baseball. 1-1 game as we go to the bottom of the third. Rene Rivera leads off against Jaime Garcia. And he lifts one to right field. And Aaron Judge drifts back to get it. One pitch and one out for Garcia in the home third. Your unlimited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, these are the rivalry games, the best of interleague play, as we like to call it.
Looks like the underdogs, huh, are on top, except, of course, the Yankees.
That Athletics Giants one is pretty heated.
Well, I mean, that goes, remember, these go back to 1997,
yeah.
So you know there have been some waxing and waning in the relative strengths of the rivalry teams.
There's no anger. Everyone's very happy. It's only the third inning, though.
Gesellman 3 hits this year, 4 for 38 in his career. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but I am not a huge fan of interleague play writ large. But the rivalry games are great. And if you just kept the rivalry games and got rid of the rest, I think interleague play would be perfect.
Keith, you can speak to this. The Cardinal-Cubs series is big time, right?
That was extraordinary, and the Cubs come down, and there's blue and red mixed together. Back in the 70s, I can tell you, when both the Cubs and the Cardinals were having down years, the stadiums would be filled up for those games, and there would be there'd be more police there because there'd be brawls.
Really?
Late by fifth inning, sixth inning on, there'd be big brouhaha.
Those mild Cardinal fans?
Well,
those Cardinal fans who were so kind even when they were calling the Mets pond scum back in the 80s?
Up in the upper tank is where it was going on.
Well, whenever we had Friday night games at Shea Stadium, we used to always call it Friday night at the fight. Right. There was always a couple.
3-2 to Gesellman, and Garcia breaks off his windup.
Even when both teams were not contending, they were big games. You got up for it. It was bragging rights.
Well, like this. Here's ball 4, and Gesellman is on. First walk given up by Garcia. I mean, obviously the fans take the rivalry games incredibly seriously, and because of the noise in the stadium, I think the players get wrapped up in it. But do you think the players talk about it as a rivalry? Does it filter down to that level?
Well, I can speak. I never felt the rivalry with the Mets and Phillies. I never felt that. St. Louis and Cardinals and Cubs, absolutely. We never talked about it. We just knew.
But those were the function of being in a pennant race with those teams.
Yeah.
When you talk about Cubs and Cardinals, for instance, was that something that was talked about amongst the players?
No, it wasn't. It just, and we were friendly. We liked liked the guys on the other side. They were in the third base dugout. But it meant something. Those games meant something. We didn't want to. At the end of the year, we didn't want to be on the losing end of the series.
And you know, my career never played an interleague game, so I wouldn't know. The only games that we played against the Yankees would be Merit Trophy's game, and those games were how quickly can we get that over with.
Now, of course, you grew up with the Red Sox-Yankees series.
Huge.
Which is, you know, probably as big a rivalry as there is in baseball.
Maybe the worst day of being around people being able to rub it in was in '78 when Bucky Dent hit the home run. I was in college, and most of the guys I knew in college and girls were Yankee fans, and they rubbed it in pretty good, deservedly so, I guess.
The day Bucky Dent gained a middle name in New England.
That's right. That's right.
They ran Mike Torres out of town.
2-2 coming, and it's outside, and Garcia continues to run lots of deep counts. Well, what's your favorite Subway Series memory? Tweet us with the Toyota tweet of the game, hashtag SNY tweet.
Very cute. Look at that.
Oh.
Garrett hits one out to center. Plenty of room for Ellsbury. 2 out. Gesellman back to first. Now it's Dribble Cabrera, who grounded out his first time up.
No, I was thinking as I'm looking at Jaime Garcia, he just looks different to me, and I was thinking just because he's in the Yankee uniform, but it's not that.
That's a fair ball for Headley, and he throws out Cabrera.
Whenever you would pitch, you'd always have a 3-day growth, and he doesn't have it here in this uniform.
Not allowed. After 3, Mets and Yankees tied at 1. run leaders. Mike Moustakas hit his 35th last night, now just one shy of the Royals club record. The Royals are the only franchise that has never had a 40 home run hitter.
That's right, because Bye-Bye Balboni has the record.
36.
The big ballpark.
Aaron Judge a long way from the Yankee record.
Yeah.
Judge had a comebacker his first time up. 2 for 7 in this series. Travis d'Arnaud playing second base against the pull-hitting right-hand batter.
Sinker ball pitcher, low ball hitter.
They have moved d'Arnaud around, seeking to shield him from having any chances. Judge gets under one deep left field. Cespedes does not even move as that ball goes flying into the upper deck. A rarely visited part of the ballpark, and Aaron Judge just said hello. Third deck promenade. An enormous blast off the bat of Aaron Judge for his 37th home run to put the Yankees in front 2-1.
Oh my word.
We got a helicopter.
This was well up the triple upper tank. Oh, there's the hangage. Oh, right in the wheelhouse. Didn't overswing. That's a Kingman-esque home run. Moonshot.
Well, Cespedes knows about that upper deck. He's visited it himself, but I don't think he's hit one that far.
Oh.
Wow.
A mammoth blast off the bat of young Aaron Judge.
Keith and I are both looking at each other, astounded, aghast.
I'd like to know the estimation on that distance, not the exit velocity, the distance.
Lined and caught by Cabrera to retire Gregorius.
Look at that. Nice job.
You know someone, if the teammates are just, they're astounded also. CC Sabathia, who's seen a lot in a long career. He's shaking his head.
400, they're saying 457
Oh,
feet.
my.
I got to believe that thing went a little further.
Is that the actual distance or how far it would have gone unimpeded? Because there are 2 different numbers that they put out for home run distances. And the second one probably has more import.
You know someone's sitting up there and has been complaining for 3 innings. Plus, can't believe we got these tickets. You said that we were going to get good tickets. What are we going to see up here? Nothing.
Incoming. Sanchez fouls one back.
That's a mammoth shot.
Well, we have seen some impressive home runs hit in this ballpark. We saw Alex Rodriguez hit one to the bridge in right center, opposite field. That was huge. The ones that Mark Reynolds hit early in the stadium's existence into the second deck out in left center. But there have only been a few hit into that third deck other than the home run derby, and that is the furthest we've seen one go up into that upper deck.
That is, yes, no question.
Yes.
And he didn't pull it, Gary. He hit it in the gap.
Sanchez tries to hold, but he went around for strike 3, and that's the second out. First strikeout of the night for Gesellman.
I remember Schwarber this year had a monstrous shot. Tulo had a couple of when he was with the Rockies.
Did not overswing, get overexcited, shoulder in. Just let the ball break. And look at the Gesellman's reaction. Oh boy.
You know, it's interesting, the reaction for the young man. No bat flip, head down, sped around the bases.
Headley drives one into the right field corner, and that's a fair ball. And it bounces out of play for a ground rule double. So Headley has a 2-out, 2-base hit.
Headley's had a good series.
Headley with a walk and a double tonight, scored the first Yankee run. Now he's at second with 2 out for Garrett Cooper, who drove in that first run with a ground out. Garrett Cooper, who came over from the Brewers last month, new to this whole New York rivalry thing, but he said he thinks he has it pegged. He went to Auburn, so he knows all about rivalry games.
That's right.
Just like Auburn, Alabama.
Tuscaloosa.
Headley at second and 2 out, and the curveball from Gesellman misses. 1-1. I mean, when you give up a home run like that, Ronnie, does it set you back on your heels?
You know what? It depends on where you are in your professional career. If it happens when you're in the best part of your career, you just shake it off. You know, it's just one run. That's how I would look at it. You know, good for you.
Pulled down to third, handled by Cabrera. Never know where you're going to find him tonight. That's a 4-3 putout in your scorecard. Aaron Judge, upper deck. That is impressive. 37 home runs for Judge. Maybe none longer than that. 2-1 Yankees in the fourth. Fourth inning. Aaron Judge's monstrous home run has put the Yankees in front 2-1. Let's see if Cespedes tries to match him as he leads off on the home for it. Cespedes hit one in the upper deck last year, and he hit, I don't know, about 25 of them in the upper deck in the home run derby back in 13. But as far as distance into that upper deck in this ballpark in a regular season game,
what's more impressive is that it was a moonshot too. It wasn't a 2-iron. It was a blast. Went out in orbit.
these days, with all the home runs that are being hit, there are certain guys whose home runs are theater. And of course, we get to see Giancarlo Stanton all the time, and he hits his share of tape measure home runs, and he certainly has hit more than his share in this ballpark.
We saw Trout earlier this year. He's a guy that you don't want to take your eyes off him when he's on the field. Personally, I don't.
Already the 5th full count for Garcia tonight, just his 12th batter. And Cespedes goes down on the breaking ball for the first out. 3rd strikeout for Garcia. Now Michael Conforto struck out his first time up.
Michael 0 for 1, as Gary mentioned. And 0 for 13 now against left-handers on a little hitless streak.
And a curveball strike. Conforto playing right field tonight. Terry Collins was asked before the game about where his spot might be next year and how to prepare him for it, and Terry basically said, I don't really care where he plays. He'll be great no matter whether he plays left, center, or right. Of course, Cespedes will be your left fielder next year. Question is whether Conforto fits better in center or right, and that will depend more with who they care to surround him with. We've seen Lagares start 3 straight games now, and there's no question what his defense brings to the table. So the question is, do the Mets want that, or do they want a slugging right fielder? More on the lines of what they had in Jay Bruce. Nice play by Torres, and a quick toss to get Conforto for the 2nd out.
That's a good play by Torres. Went a long way.
Well, you're playing back in the outfield. You're going to gobble up with some base hits. Good at bat by Conforto there. Struck that ball well. But when they're playing that big shift on you, it's hard to get it through that side of the infield on the ground.
So now d'Arnaud, who grounded out his first time up. Be at Citi Field this Saturday when the Mets take on the Marlins at 7:10. First 15,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yoenis Cespedes bobblehead courtesy of Delta Airlines. For tickets, visit Mets.com/tickets. Well, one part of the plans worked very well for the Mets so far tonight. They have effectively hidden Travis d'Arnaud defensively. There have been balls hit to second base and balls hit to third base, and Cabrera has been there to field all of them. They've moved d'Arnaud back and forth, and he's had none hit to him.
Ball through by d'Arnaud. Let's go with the bat. He just catches Sanchez on the back of the hand and glove.
Lucky it didn't get him on top of the hand.
Remember, earlier in his career was d'Arnaud who would always be hit by follow-throughs. He's been able to avoid that the last couple of years.
He's moved back a little.
Won't be hit by any follow-throughs at third base unless somebody throws their bat.
Yeah, but he's going to get a scorcher at some point.
Three-1 from Garcia, and Travis takes a strike. 3-2. Ahmed Rosario waiting on deck. So that's 6 full counts now for Garcia through the first 14 batters. Walked 1, struck out 3. And a little tapper back to him. And Garcia makes the play to retire the side. Mets are down 1-2-3 after the Yankees get the lead in the top of the inning. 2-1 going to the fifth. Robert Gsellman getting ready for the top of the fifth. Fifth inning brought to you by your local Ford dealers. The Ford Summer Sales Event is on. For big savings, go to buyfordnow.com.
Yeah, we were watching some warm-up pitches there. Been asked by folks before, how hard do you work on those warm-up pitches? If you're having a tough day, you really work hard on them. If everything is styling, you throw 50-60% at the most.
Ronald Torreyes leads off in the fifth and flies one out to left. Easy for Cespedes. One pitch and one out in the top of the fifth. Let's check in with Steve Gelbs, Inside Baseball. Steve.
Well, Gary, as we know, Joey Votto is on an absolutely ridiculous tear right now. 20 straight games in which he has 2 times on base or more. If that happens again tonight, he will tie Ted Williams, who has set the record in 1948. But someone who knows him incredibly well, Votto that is Todd Frazier. The two obviously played together for years in Cincinnati. And Frazier said he is not surprised by this in the least. The two ran into each other during last season when Votto had that bad first half. And Votto, an incredibly intense guy, looked Frazier in the eye and said, that will never happen again. But beyond that, Votto is a guy that Todd Frazier said is as unique as they come in the game of baseball, has an incredible ability when he's at the plate to focus on one particular pitch in one area of the zone, and even if it's an inch away from where he wants it, he will not swing at that pitch ever until there's 2 strikes. Frazier said he's never seen another guy in the league that can do it consistently like Votto.
Well, the Mets will see plenty of Joey Votto. That's 7 games with the Reds coming up.
Well, Ted Williams was a lot that way, and Ted Williams, as Joey Votto, came under a lot of criticism. For Ted Williams would take the walk, and they would always say, well, you're the best hitter in the game, swing at that pitch an inch outside. And Ted wouldn't.
He's like, I'm the best hitter in the game because I don't swing at that pitch an inch outside.
Two to Garcia, who has 3 career home runs, including the grand slam he hit in his last start for the Braves before he was traded. First grand slam by a Braves pitcher since.
Tony Cloninger, who hit 2 of them in one game.
I remember that.
At Candlestick Park in 1966.
I remember that. I remember that. That was a big story in the Chronicle. San Francisco Chronicle had a green sheet, sporting sheet. And the paper was green, and that was obviously a game at Candlestick. It was a big headline, the 2 Grand Slams. I remember it like it was happened yesterday.
I mean, there are only a handful of players in history who've hit 2 Grand Slams in a game, and to have a pitcher do it was phenomenal. Fernando Tatis is one of those, right?
One inning.
In one inning, and what made it more remarkable, he hit them both off the same pitcher. I mean, think about that. That means Chan-Ho Park, who gave up the 2 Grand Slams to Tatis, had to face at least 13 batters in that inning, and he was still in there for the second one.
Yes.
How's that possible?
Nice job, Tommy.
1-1 to Ellsbury.
Here's the David Wright glove on the left hand of Mr. Darno.
Sandy Alderson was asked tonight if he thinks it's conceivable that David could play this year. He said, well, David thinks it is, which is really all that matters right now. Ellsbury pops up to Rosario. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Gesellman in the top of the 5th. We're halfway through. 2-1 Yankees. Neighbors, families, you never know. New York, New York. House divided indeed. Wow. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Ahmed Rosario leads off against Jaime Garcia. Rosario grounded out his first time up and takes a curveball outside. Your 4th, 5th inning recap. Jaime Garcia just 1 hit allowed. That was the first batter he faced, Juan Lagares, who scored a run, and Garcia has been on top of his game since.
Rosario grounded out, but it was a bullet right at Torres, who made a nice backhand. It was a rocket. Very good at bat.
2-2 to Rosario. SNY's NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano will have the latest on the Sheldon Richardson Brandon Marshall feud, plus updates from camp as the Jets get ready for their preseason matchup against the Lions on SNY.TV, your online home for all things New York sports. And Rosario has to skip out of the way, and Garcia has run yet another full count, his 7th.
He's a nibbler.
And it's inside, ball 4, and Ahmed Rosario has drawn his first major league walk. 48 at bats without one, and now he gets his first base on balls. Second walk given up by Garcia tonight. So the Mets got the leadoff man on in the 5th, and here's Smith, who also has not drawn a big league walk yet. He's only had 18 at bats. Struck out his first time up tonight. Garcia spiking the pickoff throw. Remy Garcia has given up more stolen bases than any left-hander in the game this year, even more than John Lester.
That's right, 16, right?
Rosario has 2 steals and 4 tries. And it comes inside to Smith, who has to jump back.
Well, Garcia has the combination. He doesn't have a particularly good move, and he's slow to the plate.
Bouncing throws to first doesn't help either. Hit sharply. Gregorius with a nice pickup. Out at second. And the turn by Headley for the 6-5-3 double play.
Ball hit hard. Hang with him. Nice play by Gregorius. Stayed in front. That's the important thing I like to see. Didn't olay it. Stayed right in front. That ball took an up hop. He would have kept it in front. Well done.
So 2 out and nobody on now. Rene Rivera, who flied to right his first time up. To Rene. Garcia looking for his first win as a Yankee. This is his 3rd start. Last night Sonny Gray made his 3rd start for the Yankees and got his first win.
That concentration.
That's hit in the air to deep left field. Forget it. That is long gone off the bat of Rene Rivera. Rivera ties the game with his 8th home run of the year. Two out and nobody on. Pitcher on deck. 0-2 pitch. And Rivera buries it to tie the game at 2.
0-2 hanging curveball. And it's just surprising that actually it's a slider. Excuse me. The way that Garcia has been nibbling most of the game. An 0-2 pitch like that, that's a big mistake.
That's the second hit he's given up tonight. And this one leaves the yard. So Rivera, who was not in the original starting lineup, Late addition, hits a home run. Gesellman hits one past the mound. Gregorius can't flag it down. And Gesellman has a 2-out hit. His 4th hit of the season.
I don't know how Garcia missed this.
Just out of his reach.
So that's the Mets' 3rd hit of the night. Juan Lagares had the first one and doubled down the left field line, scored in the 1st inning. Yankees got an unearned run in the 2nd, a Judge home run in the 4th. Rivera's home run has tied it here in the 5th. And Lagares grounds one down to Headley, up hop, and gets the force to end the inning. But the Mets get even. Rene Rivera put in the lineup after a couple of late scratches, takes advantage of the opportunity. 8th home run of the year for Rene. 2-2 after 5. Pitches, 3 innings, no runs, 1 hit for Harvey. Meanwhile, the city probables for tomorrow: Steven Matz for the Mets, Luis Severino, who's been the best for the Yankees this year but got beat up in his last start by the Red Sox. 6th inning, Aaron Hicks leads off against Robert Gesellman in a 2-2 game. Hicks is 0 for 2. And he flies one along the left field line. Cespedes hustles over. 1 out. 1 pitch and 1 retired by Gesellman in the 6th. And now Judge, who pulverized a baseball his last time up in a fashion that we are not accustomed to seeing.
You know, that home run he hit, it's hard to equate. There, that's where it ended up. Wow.
3rd deck, 2nd level of the 3rd deck.
Strawberry used to hit him like that high. I don't know if that far. I'm sure he did hit one that far. Montreal,
yeah, opening day.
But he hit him so high. They're up there forever.
Well, Dave Kingman used to hit those monstrously high home runs.
Really see Kingman play. I can't remember. I mean, I've seen video of him.
Down the left field line, and Judge has a base hit. Second hit of the night for Aaron Judge, and he's aboard with 1 out.
Well, that just goes to show how strong Aaron Judge is. This is not a up in the strike zone, off the plate, got him on the label, and he still hits a soft line drive well into left field. That's a very strong man. If he didn't get that ball inside, Ron, we might see another mortar launcher.
I would think that Gesellman would count that as a victory after what happened the previous time.
Yes.
Now Didi Gregorius is 0 for 2. Had a broken bat liner to second his last time up, and Gesellman starts him off with a changeup, 0-1. Here's Spectrum high-speed pitch tonight. Gesellman 95, Garcia 92.
You know, we've talked a lot about Judge's power. We have not talked a lot about his athleticism. Almost stealing a home run from Cespedes. I believe he has 7 or 8 stolen bases this year. Has one of the best arms in the game in right field. Complete player.
Does he drive a pickup?
Look at him next to Dominic.
Best is when Judge stands next to Torreyes.
Yes.
There was a point last night where Torreyes was playing in shallow right field, standing right in front of Judge, and it looked like an optical illusion. I mean, Dom's a pretty big man. Not tall, but it's big.
I think they had a funny Instagram shot earlier this year where Torreyes put Judge's uniform on.
Yeah, I don't think vice versa would have worked. Probably fit about 3 Torreyeses in Judge's uniform. Gesellman behind 3-1 on Gregorius. And he walked him. And the Yankees have 2 men on. Second walk given up by Gesellman. And now Gary Sanchez with first and second and 1 out. Sanchez has flied out and struck out 0 for 2. Gesellman first big league start since June the 27th. Through 6 innings in his last rehab start last Friday. And working in the 6th inning tonight. That's bullpen's going to start getting cranked. And the sinker misses to Sanchez, 1-0. Well, so far, Judge's tape measure shot notwithstanding, it's been a pretty successful return for Gesellman, but how successful may hinge on what happens right now.
Yes.
And he falls behind Sanchez 2-0. Dan Worthington will pay a visit.
Sanchez surprisingly has only grounded into 6 double plays this year. 13 for Matt Holliday, 14 for Judge, including last night.
2 right-handers up in the Mets bullpen, Sewald and Goodell. SNY Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Don't look at that scoreboard, Slugger. Eyes front.
It's like the NFL guys when they're running for a touchdown. They look on the board.
You're wearing 17. You have a lot to live up to.
Let's come on. Step on it.
And that just misses. And now it's 3-0 to Sanchez. So you got Headley on deck. Does Sanchez get a green light here?
I would give him a green light. The series he's had so far, he's red hot. What'd you say before? 7-game hitting streak, 440 coming into this game. During the streak, I'd let him swing.
Zellman's thrown 7 straight balls since the first pitch strike to Gregorius.
I'd have him take. Sorry.
Okay.
And he takes ball 4. So back-to-back walks, load the bases.
Boy, they got anybody ready?
They have 2 guys ready, and they're both right-handed.
And you'd much prefer to have Headley turn around if you're the Mets. He's a much better left-hand hitter than right.
Although last night Headley had a base hit off Blevins on a hanging curveball.
So Gesellman, after retiring Hicks on the first pitch of the inning, gave up a base hit to Judge, and now back-to-back walks to Gregorius and Sanchez. And this 2-2 tie in dire jeopardy.
Well, a double play is, you take a double play right here, give up a run. But this is, oh, that's right, he's one out, sorry. You need a double play. Shoot, what am I talking? Oh, that's it.
And that's going to be all for Gesellman. Terry Collins waited a few extra beats to get his pitcher ready, and we'll see whether it's going to be Sewald or Goodell to come in. But Gesellman is done after 5 1/3 in his return from the disabled list, coming back from the hamstring injury, and he'll leave in a tie game with the bases loaded. Call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon. Looks like Sewald's getting the call. 2-2 game in the 6th. We'll be right back. Series appearance for the rookie right-hander Paul Sewald, and he walks into a mess.
He does walk into a mess. Pitched in 3 of the 4 games in Philadelphia. Did not allow a run. Needs a ground ball here.
Judge is at third, Gregorius at second, Sanchez at first with 1 out. 2-2 game in the 6th. Chase Headley tonight has walked and doubled. And he takes the fastball inside for ball 1. In their current infield configuration, d'Arnaud is playing third and Cabrera second. They've been switching all night. In the air, center field. That'll get the run in at least. Back goes Lagares. He's got it lined up. Tagging at third is Judge. Gregorius will take third. Yankees go back in front 3-2 on the sacrifice fly by Headley.
Well, he missed fastball in, and this one's right down the middle. Lagares, he's just so good getting back on the ball. That's not as difficult a play as the one last night when he made up against the wall.
Back pedals like a defensive back.
So a run is in. 3-2 Yankees. Gregorius at third. Sanchez held at first. 2 out for Garrett Cooper, who's been up twice, and twice has hit ground balls to Cabrera. Both times Cabrera is playing at third base, and that's where Cabrera is again, with d'Arnaud now on the right side of the infield. And so far that part of the game plan has worked perfectly. d'Arnaud still has not had a ball hit to him. Playing his first ever game on the infield. And that's lined right at Rosario to end the inning. So Cooper lines out. Yankees scratch out a run, a single, a couple of walks, and a sacrifice fly. 3-2 Yankees going to the bottom of the 6th. Robert Gazelman back from the DL. Mets and Yankees back in Flushing. Aaron Judge punctuating the night with an upper deck home run. Rene Rivera didn't hit it as far, but it counted for the same run. The Yankees have reclaimed the lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th at Citi Field on a back and forth night. Mets box score presented by StubHub. Rivera with the home run. Lagares a double and a run scored. Cespedes a sacrifice fly. Mets will have 2, 3, and 4 in the order coming up against Tommy Garcia in the 6th. Cabrera 0 for 2 tonight, and he takes a strike. Cespedes on deck, Conforto behind him. The 3rd time around the batting order for Garcia, and the Yankees will get their bullpen started with Garcia at 81 pitches, threw 103 his last time out Friday against the Red Sox. And that's lined into left field, a base hit for Cabrera.
Well, I've always seen a lot from Jaime. He can throw that little old floater up there, that breaking ball that sits on a tee. Threw one to Rivera with the lost into the left field seats, and now base hit, leadoff single for Cabrera. Just a little floater.
Well, that's 3 hits in the last 4 batters against Garcia, who had held the Mets to only 1 hit before that. Tommy Kahnle gets up in the Yankee bullpen. Cespedes drove in the first Met run with a sacrifice fly. Struck out his second time up. Each team with 4 hits. Cabrera the tying run at first with nobody out. And Cespedes takes a fastball strike. Cespedes just 1 for 8 in his career against Jaime Garcia, whom the Mets are facing for the 3rd time this year. You like that jersey, huh?
Well, I was looking at it. Only in today's game, Keith, there's a guy wearing your jersey at the game, not watching the game because he's FaceTiming with someone.
When you wear that jersey, Ron, you become very popular.
Cespedes just got a piece of the changeup to stay in there. See, now you're part of his FaceTime, Keith.
That's right.
Hello.
Hey.
Sorry you couldn't be at the game tonight.
Oh, that must be his son, huh? Yes.
Garcia ahead 0-2, gave up a home run on an 0-2 pitch in the last inning. And that skips in, taking off for second. Cabrera. Sanchez is throwing plenty of time, and Torres tags him out. Good block by Sanchez, who has a great arm. Cabrera loves to take off on those balls in the dirt, but this time Sanchez beat him.
Well, we'll see the break he gets here off the pitch. He got a quick break, but the ball just not far enough away from Sanchez. Well, you're down a run here in the 6th. You want to make sure you're going to be safe, and he's out by a country mile.
Not a caught stealing, just a 2-4 put out for the first out. Cespedes lays off 2-2.
Ball's just not that far away here. A little bare hand.
Two coming, and that's inside. Full count to Cespedes, who thought it was ball 4 and then finds out differently. Now the 3-2, and it's grounded foul. Conforto next. Mets led 1-0, trailed 2-1, tied it on Rivera's home run in the 5th. Now a run behind again. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming to Cespedes. Garcia has walked 2. He struck out 3. And there's ball 4. His 3rd walk of the night. Conforto will come up with a tying run aboard. Here's your Verizon trivia question for it tonight. Which Mets pitcher has the most wins in the Subway Series? Which started in 1997. Here's Conforto, who was robbed of a hit on a fine play by Torres his last time up. 0 for 2 on the night. And that's lined toward left center field. A base hit for Conforto, and that'll go all the way to the wall. Cespedes streaking for 3rd. They call interference, and he may be awarded home plate. Let's see.
The third base umpire, Adam Hamari, pointed to indicate obstruction. But Cespedes made no attempt to score.
No, Cespedes was held up. Good hitting right here. He breaks an 0 for 13 against the left-hander. Nice hitting. Don't forget about left center field. Cespedes is busting. He got held up by Glenn Sherlock, the third base coach.
Now Headley was there. Cespedes kind of reached for him, and you see the third base umpire Adam Hamari made some indication.
Well, a lot of times what an umpire will do is when he sees that kind of play, he'll point to it. But then when the home plate umpire looked at the third base umpire, Hamari, he said, no foul.
No obstruction,
Yeah.
so Cespedes will be held at third. Joe Girardi's making a pitching change.
I don't see the well, that's just a little bit late.
So there's Hamari making the signal. But the judgment is that Cespedes stays at third. Yankees make a pitching change. Tommy Kahnle coming in. We'll be right back to Citi Field. Rocky and White Sox right-hander comes in for the second straight night.
Yeah, we saw him pitch in the 7th inning last night, and he was outstanding.
Mets down by a run, have second and third and one out. Cespedes at third. Conforto after his double is on second. Yankees have the middle infielders back. They'll concede the tying run on a grounder. Darno's been up twice, grounded out both times. So Cespedes running between second and third. Hamari made some indication, but here's what actually happened.
Now watch the second base right there. There's no interference. There's no interference.
Cespedes reached out for Headley more than Headley being in his way.
Yeah. So why did the umpire make a call? There's no interference. There should have been no call whatsoever.
I don't know the answer to that, Keith, but clearly what he was trying to indicate was that he saw what happened, and then they made the disposition when the play was over. Well, Kahnle could use a strikeout with the tying run at third and one out. He's ahead on Darno 0-2 with Rosario on deck. And Darno bloops one into center field. Over comes Ellsbury to get it. Tagging at third, Cespedes. He'll come home with the tying run. Conforto goes to third, and we're tied again 3-3. Darno down in the count, delivers the sacrifice fly to get the Mets back even.
Nice 0-2 hitting by Darno. Not very good idea by Canley right there. I mean, you go 0-2.
So now with the go-ahead run at 3rd and 2 out, Ahmed Rosario, who drew his first big league walk his last time up in the 5th, 0 for 1 tonight. Conforto at 3rd with 2 out. And the first pitch slider misses, ball 1. Full ballpark, back and forth ball game. And Rosario pops it up. In comes Ellsbury to call. And that retires the side. Mets get even though. Darno with the sac fly. 3-3 game as we head to the 7th. It's on for the 7th inning, now in a 3-3 game. Ronald Torreyes leads off and bluffs the bunt and takes a strike. Brett Gardner's come out on deck to pinch hit with the pitcher spot due up next. Torreyes tonight is 0 for 2. Sewald came in, got the final 2 outs in the 6th. That's pulled just past Cabrera and down the line, and that'll go into the corner. An extra base hit for Torreyes. Ronald Torreyes had a really good series.
He certainly had a little pesky little hitter. Like that old second baseman in Boston, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Right down the line here. Little guy. Don't have to be a big horse to play this game.
You know, it's interesting though. He faked the bunt on the first pitch. That's got to move Cabrera in, and then he hits it by.
Well, this is interesting because they're flip-flopping and putting Darno at 3rd. Now Gardner is a really good bunter, so this might be a real test for Darno in this spot.
Yeah, I would not do this because Gardner, we've already seen in this series, sacrifice bunt to get the runner over. He can do it again.
I don't have an issue with this because you're not going to turn 2, obviously, with this guy up right now. Gardner It's just a throw to second.
Gardner squares, pushes it. Rivera will take care of it. And he makes the play on Gardner. Successful sacrifice. Goes 2-3. Torreyes now at third with one out.
Good hustle by Rivera, because I don't think that Travis is going to be able to make this play.
Well, he was aware that d'Arnaud was there and that he had to do something extra here.
He called him off immediately.
Perfect execution by Gardner.
So the go-ahead run at third with one out. Mets will bring the infield in with Jacoby Ellsbury coming up. d'Arnaud will stay at third base with the left-hand hitter up. Travis still has not handled a chance in the field, moving back and forth between second and third.
If you were watching last night's game, Ellsbury jumped on the first pitch from DeGrom. Going to make a quality pitch if you're Sewald.
2-run homer off DeGrom last night. And breaking ball in the dirt. Stopped by Rivera, 1-0. Each team with 3 runs and 5 hits. Adam Warren, the next man up in the Yankee bullpen, with Canely having been pinch hit for. And one wrapped around the plate, and it's 2-0.
Missed with 2 breaking balls. You can be very selective as a hitter here. Be very aggressive. All you need is a sac fly.
And that slider finds the plate, 2-1. Ellsbury 1 for 3 tonight at a base hit to start the ball game. Also stole a base. Gesellman went 5 1/3 in his return for the DL. 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. 4 straight sliders from Sewald, and now he's behind 3-1.
You got a guy in Ellsbury who can steal a bag. You're going to set up a double play on a guy like Hicks who can fly. You got to keep the infield still in. If he walks this batter, can't give up this run at third base.
That's outside, ball 4. So Sewald walks Ellsbury, and now Hicks will come up with runners at first and third and 1 out. And Dan Warthen out to talk to Sewald before he does.
Well, we saw in last night's ball game when DeGrom was on the mound, Dan Warthen came out and they spent a lot of time not talking to DeGrom, but talking about the defense they were going to play. And they didn't always get it right, or it didn't seem like they got it right, and it frustrated Jacob.
Well, Ellsbury's already stolen a base tonight, so I guess the question is, with the fast man at third and Torreyes, if he does take off, do you throw through?
I want to see where they're setting up the middle infielders first. They're going to play double play depth in at the corners. Hicks is a tough guy to double up.
I mean, if it's the 9th inning, you got to play in, but in the 7th inning, he'll play for the double play and hope for the best.
I would not throw through.
I would not throw through either.
I would fake and try to get the young Torreyes at third base.
Or do the play that they did in Philly, Gary, where the shortstop comes in.
Remember, though, you have d'Arnaud playing third base, so he's got to react if you're going to fake the throw and fire behind the runner.
I would not recommend that. Let's just stay away from that one. I like the play where you could throw through and the shortstop or second baseman come into the grass and cut it off in front of second base.
It's the play we saw the Phillies run over the weekend. And Hicks tries to hold the swing and stopped it in time.
No, he's not getting his slider over early in the count and getting in trouble here, Sewald.
Hicks is 0 for 3 tonight. Flied out twice, grounded out once. Its bullpen is busy again. Aaron Judge on deck. 1-0 to Hicks. And he flies one foul. That'll go out of play. Goodell up again. Josh Smoker alongside. And Hicks swings over an off-speed pitch. You see that changeup often from Sewald.
You know, Jacob deGrom in last night's game tried to feature a lot of changeups to Aaron Hicks, but he couldn't get it over last night. Sewald did there.
Put it in a good spot, too. That was a strike.
One and two to Aaron Hicks. And the slider down, 2-2. Hicks having a career year in his second season after coming over from the Twins. Big time prospect there. He didn't make it.
Here comes
and now
change
fulfilling his promise. And the changeup misses, 3-2.
Hasn't thrown him one fastball, has he?
No, he hasn't.
This entire bat.
He threw him the great changeup there with what 2-1, and then wanted to throw it there and couldn't back it up.
Well, you have to figure Ellsbury's going to run here. 3-2, 1 out. Go ahead run at third.
Fastball. Surprise.
3-2 coming. Ellsbury does not run, and it's inside ball 4. And the bases are loaded for Aaron Judge.
Wow. Darno going to second base. They're going to bring. It's got to be the infield in if that's the case.
No, they're going to play for the double play.
Darno to turn 2 at second. Okay.
Judge has provided the indelible moment in this game with an upper deck home run in the 4th. He bats here with the bases loaded and takes a fastball strike from Sewald.
Interesting. He was taking all the way, Judge.
In the 6th inning, Gesellman issued back-to-back walks to load the bases. Yankees got a run. Here, back-to-back walks by Sewald have loaded the bases with 1 out. And Judge takes a fastball strike, and it's 0-2.
I think he saw all those breaking balls to the hitters before, the 2 hitters before him, that he was looking for breaking ball. Now he finds himself 0-2 with 2 straight gas attacks.
Lots of speed on the bases. Torreyes, Ellsbury, and Hicks. And the slider in the dirt, smothered by Rivera.
Nice stop by Rivera with his hand, his hip.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Well, Judge has got that consecutive strikeouts on the line here.
1-2. Lifted down the right field side, slicing away and into the crowd.
That shows me right there, Ronnie, that he's not looking breaking ball, but he's protecting the plate.
But can you get him to chase the breaking ball is the key.
That would be, you got another one to throw in the dirt.
You got to take a chance.
One-two. Fastball up and away. 2-2. Judge is 2 for 3 tonight. That monstrous home run in the 4th, a single, and he scored a run in the 6th. That put the Yankees in front. Mets came back to tie it in the bottom of the 6th. Now the Yankees threatening again. And Judge pops it up.
Infield fly rule will be called. 2 out. A king-sized out for Paul Sewald.
Up and in, or Ronnie came in. I don't know if he wanted it there. He set up away, and he comes up and in and gets him.
So now 2 out and the bases loaded. You got the left-hand hitter Gregorius coming up. Josh Smoker has been up in the bullpen, but it looks like Terry's going to stay with Sewald to try to finish the inning. He's given up a double and 2 walks here in the 7th, but now a chance to get out of it. Facing Gregorius, who's 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. And a fastball up and away for ball 1.
It's a dangerous matchup for the Mets and Sewald.
Gregorius 2 for 9 in this series. Came into the night 6th in the American League in batting. Outfield very shallow. And the fastball misses. 2-0.
Oh, beautiful pitch to hit right here. That guy likes to run that fastball away.
Swinging strike and a high fastball, 2-1.
Oh, Gregorius really swings up. He does not like the high pitch above the belt. Totally tie him up upstairs.
Two-one coming, and that's ripped down the right field line. Fair ball into the corner. Torreyes is in. Ellsbury right behind him. Hicks will be held at third. It's a 2-run double for Didi Gregorius, and the Yankees are back in front 5-3.
Getting down in the strike zone. You ask for trouble. Too much plate. Nice hitting by Gregorius.
Before that hit, Sewald had held the opposition 0 for their last 25 with runners in scoring position, but that streak ends on the 2-run double by Gregorius.
Well, the Mets had a left-hander up. They had more confidence in Sewald than they did in their left-hander, and Gregorius won that battle.
Now Gary Sanchez with 2 in scoring position. Hicks at third, Gregorius at second. Sanchez 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. And slider off the plate, ball 1.
Yep. Very big clutch double right there.
Nice play by Conforto on the Cairns to prevent that 3rd run from scoring.
I know everyone loves the righty-righty matchup. Sanchez, in my estimation, gets nothing to hit here. Fine pitcher.
You got Chase Headley, the switch hitter, on deck.
And Headley's had a good series, but he's not in the same league as what Sanchez can do and what he's done in this series.
Mets have twice come from behind to tie. Now they're down by 2 runs in the 7th. Can't afford to fall farther behind. It's a huge batter here for Sewald.
Boy, those 2-out RBIs are backbreakers.
Sanchez fouls back the fastball, 1-2. Sanchez 0 for 2 and a walk tonight after 4 hits and 2 home runs in the first 2 games of the series. 1-2. Tap toward third. Cabrera's got it. Side retired. Yankees regain the lead. 2-out, 2-run double from Didi Gregorius has Paul Sewald screaming at himself. Gregorius puts the Yankees back in front. 7th inning stretch, 5-3. My first thought was that Paul Sewald was angry with himself, and that might be part of it. But look at this too: the walk to Aaron Hicks, the 3-2 pitch on G Pitchcast. I mean, it wasn't where he intended to, and Rivera had to reach for it, but it clearly was a strike, and a home plate umpire Chad Whitson missed it.
You got an umpire looking over the inside corner. You got a catcher setting up on the outside corner. As an umpire, you cannot assume that anybody's going to make that pitch in the corner. He might miss on the opposite side.
Your job is to call what's on the plate. That's it.
Adam Warren is in to pitch for the Yankees.
There's 4 pitchers in baseball that have pitched over 50 innings, 50 or more, that have an ERA under 2. Craig Kimbrell, Andrew Miller, and the 2 Yankees, Chad Green and Mr. Warren.
Brett Gardner stayed in the game in left field, so the pitcher hits in the second spot. Dominic Smith leads off for the Mets in the home 7th. Mets have twice come from behind to tie in this game, and now 2 runs down in the 7th. Smith is 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out, grounded into a double play.
Dominic Smith, if he takes a pitch and it's not a strike, or he doesn't swing at it, he never leaves the box. Ever. Very unusual.
Gets one in the air to center field. Ellsbury's there. 1 out. Tonight's starters brought to you by People's United Bank. First start back from the DL for Robert Gazelman, and he pitched better.
But both pitchers just about the same line. So pitch to a tie, the 2 starters.
Remy Garcia will get a no decision in his 3rd start for the Yankees. Still looking for his first win since the trade, chasing Bradford up in the Mets bullpen. Tommy Kahnle's now pitcher of record on the long side for the Yankees after they regained the lead. Rene Rivera tied the game with a home run in the 5th inning, his 8th of the year. Curtis Granderson's come out on deck to pinch hit. Mets might be a little short on the bench tonight.
Yes, we don't know what kind of shape Flores and Reyes are in.
Well, if they can't start with a rib issue, a side issue,
I would think they can't hit.
I agree with you.
Both were late scratches with sore left rib cage. That was the report. And that's why Darno's been playing on the infield tonight. Still hasn't handled the chance. Mets have done a brilliant job of hiding him. Too high to Rivera, 1-2. Warren, Yankee, Cub, Yankee. Got him back when they traded Aroldis Chapman to the Cubs, and then they got Chapman back.
You know, it's funny. Warren was so good for the Yankees before he was traded. He was not very good with the Cubs, and as soon as he came back, he was very good again. So the road grays and the pinstripes served Adam Warren well.
Keep in mind, we mentioned it earlier, Aroldis Chapman not available tonight after his shaky save last night. So David Robertson would get the call if the Yankees have a safe chance.
Warren can pitch multiple innings if he has to.
Well, they did double switch him in, so it gives Girardi the option. 2-2. Slider off the plate. This Yankee bullpen, as it's currently constituted since getting Canely and Robertson from the White Sox, is incredibly deep.
That's right.
And the loose wire right now is the closer. Everybody else has been front and center. Rivera pops one up in his shallow center. In comes Ellsbury. 2 out. Well, Flores was the first scratch, and then Reyes during batting practice reporting a little pain in his side.
I mean, he heard it on a practice swing.
Terry Collins telling Reyes to come on out. He had to rework his entire lineup as a result. Brandon Nimmo announces the pinch hitter. It had been Granderson on deck, but with 2 out and nobody on, Terry will go with Nimmo instead. And Larry Rothschild, the Yankee pitching coach, is on his way to the mound to talk to Warren, perhaps with the scouting report on Nimmo.
You think you would have had it 3 hours ago, but I don't know.
You got a 2-run lead. He can't beat you. What's the skull session about?
Nimmo has been doing a tremendous job coming off the bench. He got a couple of starts in Philadelphia, and he really struggled. Went 0 for 7 in the 2 games and struck out 5 times. But his pinch hit at bats have been terrific. How do you figure?
It should be the other way around, right? Pinch hitting should be tougher.
Brandon takes below the knees, ball 1.
You guys had a nice interview with Nimmo and Brandon Nimmo in Philadelphia.
Yes, we did.
That was very good.
It was nice intellectual conversation on preparation. Baseball intellect.
Yeah.
I don't know what was better, the conversation or his concentration in the face of an onslaught. You got the Asdrubal barrage. And a fastball strike. 1-2. One-two coming. And curveball misses. Adam Warren, teammate of Matt Harvey's at the University of North Carolina. Harvey made his second rehab start for Brooklyn tonight. It went well. 3 innings, no runs, 1 hit. Jerry's Familia had his first rehab assignment for St. Lucie tonight. 9-pitch inning. That went well. 2-2. Fouled away. Who else we keeping tabs on? Syndergaard threw off the mound. He's going to do it again in a few days. And now we have the 2 sore rib cage muscles. See if the Mets have to make a move tomorrow.
I mean, that's a 10-day DL usually for guys like that.
And the changeup misses, 3-2. Can you say Cicchini?
Cicchini. Can you say Matt Reynolds?
Yeah. Well, Nimmo's worked a full count. It's usually the way his pinch hit at bats go. Juan Lagares would be next. 3-2. And he takes strike 3 called. Got on the backdoor slider. Warren has a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th. On to the 8th, 5-3 Yankees. We'll be talking about this for a while. The ball that Aaron Judge hit well up into the upper deck at Citi Field. Rene Rivera matched him with a home run, not quite as distant. Didi Gregorius has the go-ahead hit, a 2-run, 2-out double in the 7th. That has the Yankees in front 5-3 as we go to the 8th. Jason Bradford will be the Mets' 3rd pitcher of the night.
Bradford pitched in the first game of the series against over in Yankee Stadium. Get another chance here in Game 3.
And Chase Headley greets him with a first pitch opposite field hit. And Headley is now 2 for 2.
Leading off an inning, try to get on base, take the sinker right where it's pitched. That's all you can do with it right there, and you're a leadoff hitter, and you got the ball rolling for your teammates.
So Headley aboard. Now Garrett Cooper, and the Mets switch their 2nd and 3rd baseman again. They put d'Arnaud at 3rd. In a double play situation, I guess that's what informs that decision. Have Cabrera in position to turn the double play.
Oh, they had d'Arnaud in the last inning in the playing 2nd for a double play situation.
In a crucial. I was shocked.
Well, so far they've kept the ball away from him. It's been 126th straight freeze out for d'Arnaud. Our next SNY telecast will be Friday night. Mets Marlins open up a 3-game weekend series. That's Chris Flexen's next start, going for his 3rd straight win. 6 o'clock, the coverage right here on SNY. Cooper's gone 0 for 3 tonight, lined out to short with a couple of men on his last time up. He foul tips that one, 2-2. The Porsche Tri-State dealers are proud sponsors of the New York Mets. See the new Panamera and the latest Porsche models at your local Tri-State dealership, or visit them on the web at PorscheTristate.com. Yankees 5 runs, 7 hits. Mets 3 runs, 5 hits. We're in the 8th. And Cooper goes down swinging. Bradford has a strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Fastball upstairs, just threw it right by Cooper.
So 1 out and 1 on, and now Ronald Torreyes, who's had a big hand in this game tonight with his glove and with the leadoff double in the 7th inning, wound up scoring the go-ahead run. Now 4 for 9 in this series with a pair of doubles. And he lines one to right field for a base hit. Pulling in at second is Headley. Second hit of the night for Torreyes, and the Yankees have 2 men on.
Nice hitting by the youngster. Line drive hitting, goes right with it.
Terry Collins on his way out of the dugout. Brett Gardner is due up, and then Ellsbury behind him. So with the 2 lefties coming up, he wants the left-hander in the game. Bradford will exit after a third of an inning, and Josh Smoker will come in. 5-3 Yankees in the 8th. We'll be right back. Find out what Keith was up to while he was stuck home alone with his cat while recovering from knee surgery. The latest episode of the SNY.TV digital series, The Amazing Life, presented by Coca-Cola. Check it out now, or meow, on SNY.TV/Coca-Cola.
Haji's already a star.
How about the candelabra in the background?
Like it. Spanish.
Big
It's
time.
like Liberace. First outing in 5 days for Josh Smoker. He comes in with 2 aboard and 1 out to face Brett Gardner, who came up as a pinch hitter in the 7th and sacrificed, stayed in the game in left field. Headley at second, Torreyes at first with 1 out. And Gardner takes up an in, ball 1. Darno playing third base right now, playing on the cutout with runners at first and second. machinations on the Mets infield tonight when they put together the official box score. Will they just list Darno as the third baseman? After all, we have shifts every day.
Yeah.
Or are they going to write 3B, 2B, 3B, 2B, 3,
right,
and note all the changes back and forth? Because if he is listed as a second baseman in the box score at some point, he'll become the first Met to catch, play second base, and play third base in the same season since Jeff McKnight in 1993, which was not a watershed year in Mets history. You know what Jeff McKnight's claim to fame that season was?
I don't even know who Jeff McKnight is.
Jeff McKnight scored the run that the Mets scored despite being no hit by Darryl Kyle in the Astrodome.
Oh, it's a blonde kid, right?
Yeah. He was a utility man.
Yes.
Thus the catcher second and third.
Exactly.
And Gardner strikes out on the fastball away. So Smoker comes in and gets Gardner for the second out.
Boy, not a good at bat there for Brett.
And good pitching by Josh Smoker.
So 2 out and 2 on, and now Ellsbury, who's 1 for 3 and a walk tonight. Headley at second, Torreyes at first with 2 out. And Ellsbury leans away, ball 1. Eric Adell on the left. Kevin McGowan looking to make his big league debut on the right. Pitcher spot due up next for the Yankees. Todd Frazier's out on deck. He'll bat if Ellsbury keeps the inning going. Let's answer our Verizon trivia question. Which Mets pitcher has the most wins in the Subway Series? My first guess would be Leiter.
Yep.
That would be his first guess too, by the way. Grounded down to first. Dominic Smith makes the play to end the inning. Good job by Smoker to strand a couple in the top of the 8th. We head for the bottom of the 8th. Top of the order coming up for the Mets, down 5-3. Mets and Yankees, game 3 of 4. Mets down 5-3 as they come to bat in the bottom of the 8th. We asked you for your favorite Subway Series memory, and you bombarded us with tweets.
I bet.
Matt Franco walk-off 99. Maliki complete game in the first ever matchup in 97. 2013 4-game sweep.
No memory.
And, yeah, that one. Recent memory. Juan Lagares leads off in the bottom of the 8th against Adam Warren, who worked a 1-2-3-7. Lagares 1 for 3 tonight, doubled and scored in the first.
I think it was 06 was when Wright walked Rivera off at Shea Stadium, right?
Lagares lays down the bunt. Warren lets it go. Headley, the barehand play, not in time. And Lagares has a bunt single to start the bottom of the 8th. His second hit of the night, and it comes in a big spot to get the tying run to the plate.
Well, it doesn't look like Warren. Warren looks a little bit slightly overweight. Doesn't move good off the mound. Nice bunt. I think a more agile pitcher would have had that. Good idea, Juan. Get the ball rolling.
Something he tries a lot. Often unable to get bunts down. He fouls them off, but that's a big spot to get a bunt down.
Big spot. If he gets better at it, that's another reason to keep him in the lineup.
Jason Shreve, the lefty, up in the bullpen with Conforto 2 batters away. Cabrera's 1 for 3 tonight. And he takes the curveball for a strike.
Watch his hands on the bat. Slides it up. He gave it away early, but it doesn't matter if you put it in a good place. Although this wasn't a perfect bunt, it's just Warren couldn't get to it.
Cabrera with 9 home runs this year.
So Gary, you said that Robinson's closing tonight, but it appears obviously that Chapman and Betances aren't available tonight. Or
It would seem that way.
right?
Betances worked the last 2. Fastball strike 1-1. Nothing in 2. Warren's given up only 2 home runs in 51 innings this year, which this year is extraordinary. A.J. Ramos up alongside Eric Goodell now in the Mets bullpen. 0-2 to Cabrera. Cespedes to follow. Conforto behind him. Takes it high.
Did you see that? Cabrera asked for time. He did not get it for the home plate umpire. He was about to step out, and he had to jump back in at the last minute. And luckily, that was the ball. Watch. He wants to step out, then he had to step back in.
All Warren needed to do was throw strikes. Would have had him. Cabrera 3 for 12 in his career against Warren. Lagares with the oven mitt protecting that left hand where he suffered the fractured left thumb that knocked him onto the disabled list for 7 weeks. One, 2. Foul back. It's been a month since Cabrera's last home run, July 16th against Colorado. Cabrera takes it on the inside corner, and he does not like that at all.
Well, Chris, Chad Whitson, the home plate umpire, has had a tight strike zone here. And if this is a strike, this is a heck of a pitch.
Well, especially if you go back to the Hicks at bat and the one that Seawald appeared to have on the 3-2 pitch, that was more of a strike than this was.
Yeah, that ball's inside. You know, Cabrera had the beef not only about that, but not to give him time in the 2 pitches prior.
He was ready to explode there.
Terry's ready to explode.
So 1 out and 1 on for Cespedes. Sacrifice flying to walk tonight, 0 for 1. That's the time the slider and fouls it back.
Well, that was one to hit into the next county right there. That was a helicopter.
Settle for the third deck. Next county from here is Bronx County. One to Cespedes. Conforto on deck. They've got the lefty Shreve up in the bullpen, ready for him. Warren's got an inning and a third already. After Tommy Canely got 2 outs in the 6th. Jaime Garcia started, went 5 1/3, allowed 3 runs, 5 hits. Lagares at first and 1 out. 2-1.
A lot of pitching inside this series.
I told you I was wondering when the pitchers were going to start to pitch inside. I mean, they've been getting embarrassed all summer. Balls flying out of the ballpark.
Going back in for triple helping.
Two and 1 to Cespedes. And that misses. And now Warren behind 3-1. Tying run at the plate in a 5-3 game. 3-1 coming. He got a pitch to hit, fouled it off. 3-2. Lagares at first and 1 out. 3-2 to Cespedes. Not going, and Cespedes fouls off the fastball. The 11th full count run by Yankee pitchers tonight. And Cespedes down for the second out. Third strikeout in relief for Warren.
Pretty good breaking ball right here, Ronnie. Made the pitch.
It's on the side of that ball with that slider grip. Starts on the plate, ends up about 3 inches outside. Foul tip, but enough for Warren to strike out Cespedes.
Well, they have the lefty Shreve up in the bullpen, but with Warren having struck out Cabrera and Cespedes, he'll get a chance to face Conforto as well. Michael's 1 for 3, double to left center his last time up. And he fouls back the first pitch fastball.
This Yankee bullpen, I like them. They are not afraid. They're not afraid. These guys, from Chad Green to Warren here to Canely, they're going after hitters. Betances, Robertson.
Conforto grounds one into the shift, and Torreyes throws him out to end the inning. Bunt hit to start the inning from Lagares, but the Mets get nothing more. A little frustration on a strike 3 call to Cabrera. We go to the 9th, 5-3 Yankees. All right, guys, and after the post-game show, it's Geico Sports Night. Have all the reaction to this game, Matt Harvey's rehab assignment for Brooklyn, and football news as well. Geico Sports Night tonight after the post-game. Every other day, Eric Goodell is in to pitch.
He is, right? Goodell in his 23rd game. He has been, but based on balls numbers, outstanding. Left-handed hitters, though, been wearing out that split finger.
Todd Frazier pinch hitting for the Yankees. Pitcher spot second in the order, so it's Frazier, then Aaron Judge, and Didi Gregorius as the Yankees look for insurance in the 9th. Frazier started the first 2 games of the series at third base, been 1 for 7. 25 games as a Yankee since coming over in the trade from the White Sox. And he pops one up. First chance for d'Arnaud. Handles it like a pro. So they hit him all night long, and it took to the 9th inning for d'Arnaud to finally handle the baseball.
As a pop-up.
Right, exactly. Not smart hitting.
So is that a pop-up to the second baseman or the third baseman?
I have no idea tonight. I'm writing them down. I have one here, 4/5/3. So that lets you know that Cabrera made the play, but at third base on a ground ball.
So 1 out now, Aaron Judge. And when they write the game stories about this game, unless the Mets can rally in the bottom of the 9th, they will all be focused on one swing of the bat by Aaron Judge in the 4th inning. It's one that everybody who was here tonight will remember for a long time.
But the big hit tonight is the double off the bat of Gregorius.
That may well be.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you,
I understand.
The one they'll write about and the one that will stick in the memory bank is this one.
Well, think about it. We spent the first game of the series talking to Dave Malicki about his great moment in the shutout in the first game. There are going to be people that come to these games forever. They're going to be asking, were you there for the Subway Series game when Judge hit that home run in the upper deck?
I mean, not just into the upper deck, but well back in the upper deck. and not down the line, but out toward left center in the upper deck. Just an incredible feat. Those 536ers did not expect a souvenir. And yet one landed in their lap. Who knew? Good splitter by Goodell to get even on Judge 2-2. Well, Judge has yet to strike out tonight. He has struck out at least once in 32 straight games to tie a major league record.
You notice how he gets set in the box, Judge, Gary, Ron. He gets set early and he kind of holds it there and he can get stiff. You just kind of want to, move those fingers around the bat. It's almost like he gets too tight. You can, as a pitcher, wait him out a little bit. But look at that, all that in there. It's like all wound up right there.
And he's got the record all to himself. Judge strikes out for a 33rd straight game, breaking the mark that he held jointly with Adam Dunn. Single season, non-pitcher, consecutive games with a strikeout.
There it is.
Right on that horseshoe for Goodell. He's got a good one. And what? Handful of guys throw it. That's it.
Well, the Yankees have one of those guys. He's on the DL right now. Tanaka. Here's Gregorius, who had the go-ahead hit for the Yankees. 2-run double in the 7th, and he takes a curveball for a strike. Well, he goes in the record books for that. He goes in the Citi Field record books for something quite different. 0-2 to Gregorius. In the bottom of the 9th, the Mets will have d'Arnaud, Rosario, and Smith due up. See if Ahmed has some more 9th inning heroics in him.
Right.
After hitting that home run in the 9th against Chapman last night. David Robertson's up in the bullpen for the Yankees, getting ready for the save chance. Oh, 2 coming. And the curveball bounced down to first. Smith handles it. Side retired. 1-2-3 inning for Goodell. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Yankees 5, Mets 3. Stuck on the train? Don't miss the game. Watch every SNY Mets game wherever you are on any device all season long with live streaming presented by Verizon. Just download the NBC Sports app or visit SNY.TV. Your home for live streaming coverage of every SNY Mets game. Chase Headley moves from third base to first base. Todd Frazier, pinch hit, stays in the game at third. And David Robertson will get the save opportunity for the Yankees tonight.
Robertson pitched on Monday, struck out 3 in a scoreless eighth inning and got the win.
13 saves for the White Sox this year, looking for his first since returning to the Yankees, for whom he saved 39 games in 2014. Travis d'Arnaud, the third baseman, second baseman hybrid, will lead off for the Mets in the last of the ninth. It'll be d'Arnaud, then Rosario and Smith. So the Yankees looking to win 3 straight in this series with 3 different pitchers saving them. Betances Monday, Chapman last night, and now Robertson tonight. And a fastball strike 1-1 to d'Arnaud, who drove in a run with a sacrifice fly his last time up, otherwise 0 for 2. Robertson, who throws more curveballs now than at any time in his career, looking for command of it early in his appearance. And he throws one by d'Arnaud at 2-2. Rosario next, Smith behind him. Yankees 5 runs, 8 hits. The Mets 3 runs, 6 hits. 2-2 coming. And he misses outside with the fastball. 3-2.
We don't want to walk anybody.
Adam Warren went 2 good innings in relief, allowed just 1 bunt hit, struck out 3 to set it up for Robertson. And d'Arnaud fouls it away.
Well, that's what you're going to get from Robertson in any situation that he doesn't want to walk you. You're going to get a cutter away.
Well, Caleb Smith, who's been up and down several times the last week, is up as insurance in the Yankee bullpen, or perhaps just getting some work in. Three and 2 to d'Arnaud, and Travis pops it up. Ronald Torreyes waiting for it to come down. 1 out. So now Rosario, who homered in the 9th inning last night against Chapman, he's gone 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. Robertson worked a scoreless 8th inning on Monday night with 3 strikeouts. And the curveball just missed as Rosario was jumping back 1-0.
Chad Whitson, there's not a pitch he's ever seen that he likes. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Called the one to Cabrera.
I'd like to see that scorecard after this game.
Big cut by Rosario, 1-1. Final game of this series tomorrow night. Steven Matz for the Mets, Luis Severino for the Yankees. Matz trying to build on his best start lately, and Severino trying to bounce back from his worst start lately. Game will be on Pix 11 tomorrow night. And Rosario fouls back the fastball. It's 1-2. Yankee bullpen in this series has been just about impeccable, other than Chapman giving up the Rosario home run last night. Green and Robertson and Betances Monday night, Canely and Betances last night, Canely, Warren, and now Robertson tonight. One-two coming. And he struck him out, but it gets behind the catcher Sanchez, and the Mets will get the tying run to the plate as Rosario reaches first base.
Boy, that can't happen. Boy, Sanchez has just got to get down and smother that ball. Can't get under your glove.
Scored a wild pitch for Robertson.
Well, now you got the tying run to the plate.
So the Mets have life here in the ninth on the strikeout wild pitch. Smith has gone 0 for 3 tonight. Robertson misses away for ball 1. Rene Rivera is out on deck. The Mets have Curtis Granderson left in the dugout, but they don't have any infielders.
They don't.
So if you batted for Rivera and Darno had to go behind the plate, you'd have to play Granderson on the infield. Is basically what it comes down to. Or Conforto.
Lagares.
Well, Lagares has done it. He was an infielder early in his career.
That's true. But even if you had to do Grandy, you've already had Darno out there. Why not?
Little tapper foul. Or number 48's played the infield in his life.
That's right, Jake.
I mean, he's out there all the time taking ground balls. He'd love that. Get your spikes on, Jake.
It's not Chinatown.
Problem is, if you bat for Rivera, that leaves you without a pinch hitter for the pitcher, who's behind Rivera. 1-2 to Smith, and Dahl takes it off the plate. 2-2. A little cutter from Robertson, almost backdoored it. Rosario at first with 1 out. 2-2 coming. And Smith taps one to short. Gregorius gets the out at second. And Smith safe on the fielder's choice. That's a 6-5 fielder's choice for the second out. And so the Mets are down to their final out of the night.
He had a handful of ball, didn't he, Ronnie? He had 3 fingers over that ball.
But he's so athletic, throws it from so many different angles. We saw him start a double play today, falling to the ground.
So the Mets are down to their final out. Rene Rivera homered back in the 5th inning, his 8th of the year. That was against the starter Jaime Garcia. Tying run at the plate, 5-3 game, 2 out last of the ninth. And Rivera takes the fastball off the plate, ball 1. Now Granderson on deck to bat for the pitcher. Rene has a base hit in his only career at bat against Robertson. But he flails at the curveball, and it's 1-1. Smith at first and 2 out. And Rivera takes a strike. And the Mets are down to their final strike.
Rene was looking for the old wrinkle there. Didn't get it.
Rivera just got a piece. Sanchez smothers that one. 2-2.
Got a little bit on the side on that, almost dropped down, and that's why he had that different kind of break from Robertson.
Rivera's run the count to 2-2. Check swing foul. A curveball from Robertson. Seventh pitch of the at bat coming from Robertson to Rivera. And the curveball gets him looking, and the ball game is over. The Yankee bullpen front and center again tonight. 3 2/3 innings, no runs, 1 hit. Didi Gregorius' 2-run double in the 7th puts the Yankees in front to stay, and the Yankees have beaten the Mets for the 3rd straight night, 5-3.
And for the Mets bullpen, it'll be Paul Sewald. Remember the 3-2 pitch. Darren Hicks that was called the ball, caught a lot of the plate. And if you take Chapman, who has struggled lately, out of the mix, the bullpen for the Yankees in the first 3 games, 10 1/3 innings, 2 hits, and 16 punch-outs.
I agree with you, Ronnie. I think the unsung heroes here, or they're not unsung. Aaron Judge with that monster bomb right there is 37th, league leading 37th. But this Yankee bullpen is the finest bullpen I've seen this year.
Game summary presented by Tri-State Buick. The takeaway from this game is going to be the upper deck home run by Aaron Judge that everybody who was here to see it will remember forever. The Yankees have beaten the Mets 3 straight nights, and they've gotten a save from a different guy each night. Betances, Chapman, and tonight Robertson. SNY Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Hyundai. There's no better time to buy a new Hyundai than now. See your local Hyundai dealer or visit buyhyundai.com. By Spectrum. Hey Mets fans, join America's fastest growing TV, internet, and voice provider. Get the Spectrum Triple Play today. By Tri Honda. Hurry to your local Tri Honda dealer for great deals on 2017 models. And by MTA Bridges and Tunnels. Cashless tolling is here. Get Easy Pass today to save up to 50% on tolls. Final score tonight, the Yankees 5 and the Mets 3. Final game of the Subway Series tomorrow night on Pix 11. Steven Matz against Luis Severino. Coverage begins at 6:30 tomorrow night on Pix 11. Back on SNY Friday night for the opener of the series with the Marlins. Chris Flexen makes the start. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock Friday night right here on SNY. Now for Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling, Steve Gelbs, and our entire SNY crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. Time for WB Mason Post Game Live. Let's join Gary Apple, Nelson Figueroa, and Jim Duquette in the studio. Guys.